Winning is not always about standing on a podium, holding a trophy, or hearing applause. Most of the time, winning is invisible. It happens quietly inside your mind, long before the world ever notices. Winning is waking up on a day when your heart feels heavy and still choosing to move forward. Winning is continuing when doubt whispers that you are not enough. Winning is believing in yourself when your circumstances give you every reason not to. And if there is one place where all winning truly begins, it is not outside you. It begins inside your mind. Your mind is the most powerful place you will ever live in. It can either become the strongest ally you have or the loudest enemy you face. It can lift you when everything around you feels broken, or it can trap you in fear, hesitation, and self-doubt for years. The difference between people who win at life and people who stay stuck is not intelligence, talent, or luck. It is how they train their mind. Most people train their bodies. They train for exams, careers, competitions, and goals. But very few people ever train their mind. An untrained mind believes every negative thought it produces. It magnifies fear. It clings to failure. It repeats painful memories. It convinces you that you are not ready, not capable, not deserving. And slowly, without realizing it, your own thoughts begin to sabotage your progress. Training your mind to win begins with awareness. Awareness of how you speak to yourself when no one is listening. Awareness of the stories you repeat in your head. Awareness of the beliefs you have accepted as truth without questioning them. Because your mind believes what you repeat. Every time you say, I can't, your mind accepts limitation. Every time you say, I'm not good enough, your mind builds identity around weakness. Every time you doubt yourself, your mind builds walls instead of doors. I learned this lesson in moments when my body felt powerless, but my mind had to stay alive. There were days when my future felt uncertain, when everything I thought I was disappeared, and the only thing left was my inner voice. In those moments, I realized something life-changing. Even when life takes everything from you, it cannot take away your ability to choose how you think. And that choice determines whether you survive or rise. To train your mind, you must first learn to separate who you are from what you feel. Fear does not mean you are weak. Doubt does not mean you are incapable. Pain does not mean you are broken. These are experiences, not identities. An untrained mind treats emotions as facts. A trained mind understands that emotions pass, but decisions last. Your mind's job is to protect you, not to help you grow. That is why it often chooses safety over possibility. It will say, don't try, you might fail. It will say, stay where you are, at least it's familiar. But safety and growth rarely live in the same place. A trained mind learns to acknowledge fear without obeying it. It learns to say, I hear you, but I am moving forward anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is action despite fear. Training your mind also means changing how you define winning. Many people believe winning means perfection, and perfection becomes the enemy of progress. It makes you delay starting. It makes you afraid to be seen. It convinces you that you must be ready before you begin. But readiness is built in motion, not in waiting. A trained mind understands that imperfect action is more powerful than perfect intention. Every small step you take builds trust between you and your mind. And trust is the foundation of confidence. Confidence does not arrive first, it is built through repetition. You do something scary once, and your mind learns you survived. You do it again, and your mind learns you are capable, over time your mind stops questioning your ability and starts supporting your effort. A winning mind also learns how to handle failure. Failure is not the opposite of winning. It is part of the process. Every person who has ever succeeded has failed more times than most people have tried. But an untrained mind treats failure as a verdict. It says, "See, I told you." A trained mind treats failure as information. It asks, "What can I learn from this?" instead of, "What is wrong with me?" When you train your mind this way, failure loses its power to paralyze you. It becomes feedback instead of punishment. And once failure stops scaring you, you become free to grow. Fear of failure keeps people stuck. Acceptance of failure moves people forward. Another essential part of training your mind is learning how to protect your inner space. Not every opinion deserves access to your heart. Not every criticism deserves your energy. Not every voice deserves a seat in your mind. A trained mind listens, but it does not absorb everything. It understands that people speak from their own fears, wounds, and limitations, and it chooses not to carry what does not belong to it. If you allow external validation to define your worth, you will always feel unstable. Praise will lift you temporarily. Criticism will break you completely. A winning mind builds approval from within. It knows its value even in silence. It does not depend on applause to keep moving. It does not collapse when recognition is missing. Training your mind also requires patience. Growth is slow. Progress is uneven. There will be days when you feel like nothing is changing, but just because progress is invisible does not mean it is not happening. Roots grow underground before anything appears above the surface. A trained mind understands this and continues anyway. Consistency beats motivation every single time. One of the most powerful things you can do for your mind is to speak to yourself with compassion. Harshness has never created strength. Shame has never created discipline. Fear has never created growth. Encouragement does. Understanding does. Kindness does. A winning mind does not punish itself for being human. It corrects itself without cruelty. It rests when needed. It tries again without self-hatred. Training your mind is not about controlling every thought. It is about choosing which thoughts you believe. Thoughts come and go. You decide which ones stay. You decide which ones shape your actions. And over time, your mind learns to follow your leadership. Winning is not about defeating others. It is about mastering yourself. It is about showing up when quitting feels easier. It is about choosing growth when comfort is tempting. It is about trusting yourself when the path is unclear. When you train your mind, circumstances lose their power over you. You may not control everything that happens in your life, but you always control how you respond. And your response decides whether you break or rise. Train your mind to believe in your ability to learn. Train it to stay calm in chaos. Train it to move forward in uncertainty. Train it to see obstacles as challenges instead of threats. Because once your mind is trained, no situation can defeat you. Winning does not mean you will never struggle. It means you will not stop because of struggle. Winning does not mean life becomes easy. It means you become stronger. And that strength begins in the quiet discipline of training your mind every single day. Train your mind to win, not just once, not just when things are easy, but in every season of your life. Because the greatest victory you will ever achieve is not what you accomplish outside. It is the strength, resilience, and belief you build inside. And once your mind is trained, nothing can take that away from you.